here today expecting some cute words, and I can't give you any because there's really nothing I can say to feel the hurt we're all trying to manage. So when you can't track God, you're going to have to learn to trust Him. And I don't know about you, but hopefully we've walked long enough with Him now not to just know His Word, but to know His nature. And knowing His nature like I think I do, I am convinced out of all the options He had before Him, He did all things well. Jesus told Peter while washing his feet in John 13, "What I do now, thou knowest not, but thou shalt know hereafter." In other words, what I'm doing right now, boy, you don't understand, but later you will. Jesus was telling Peter, there's always a sequel. There's always a sequel to the present situation. And His Word tells us that you have to trust the sequel and not let the present circumstance steal your joy. The Lord is telling this family and this crowd, this is my daughter. She was baptized in my name. She was covered with my blood. She was filled with my Spirit. She daily read my Word. She dedicated her life to following my will. Are you telling me I can't call my own daughter home? Because when the Lord took Enoch, it was silent. There was no explanation to those that were left behind. Today, his picture would have been on billboards. The mystery of his disappearance would have spawned numerous conspiracy theories. And without a doubt, an entire episode of America's Most Wanted would have aired a request for information on the vanished husband. I do not have one scripture that tells me the Lord gave any explanation to Enoch's wife. He simply said, this is my boy. It's closer to my house than it is to yours. You come home with me. And the rest of you are just going to have to deal with that. But I am also told this, that before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. You want to know why Enoch left? 2 reasons. Number 1, he pleased God. And number 2, he could afford to leave. And that's why the Lord hasn't called a lot home yet. We can't afford to leave. We're not ready. You want to know why the Lord called Faith Cook home? 2 reasons. Number 1, this gal had a testimony. Testimony. Don't have one of those without a test. She had lots of them. She tried to be a good wife. Tried her best to raise 2 boys and be a wife. And then she tried for years to raise 2 boys without a husband. And then she tried to be a good wife again as she added 3 more children to the duet of Danny and Billy. The years of service while pioneering a new work in Circleville, and when they had built a new building and had enough faithful people to ensure that her husband didn't have to work full-time at Sears anymore. Surely it was time then to sit for 10 years and just enjoy all that they've done and all they'd worked so hard to accomplish. But no, they left Circleville